channel, I am wearing a shirt. Actually, it's a dress. But welcome back to my channel. So it is very hot outside. This is not dewy, this is sweat. But you know, we're glowing, so it's okay. Yeah, it's super hot outside, so I'm staying inside. So I thought I would tell you my 5 favorite books. I've been sitting inside a lot, you know, editing, filming, and reading, especially at night, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to show you guys my 5 favorite books that I've been reading. I'm currently reading all of them. I kind of go back and forth, but I thought it'd be fun, and I'd like you guys to share your favorite books down in the comments. Doesn't have to be 5, just what's your favorite books. But yeah, let's get started in the video. I'm sure this has been done many times, but whatever. So the first one is this guy right here. So this is literally just classic horror tales. So it's got like Dracula, Terror, Dead of Night. It's got Midnight, The Dead Travel Fast, like all the originals. And you literally just read. I love the inside of it. But you just keep going, and eventually it changes the story. So it's got like the pit and the pendulum. It's got the turn of the screw, the succubus, the damned things, like all these. Like, it's just amazing because a lot of, like, I really love classic horror. And I love new horror. I just love horror in general. But this is really nice for anybody who loves classic horror, who doesn't want to keep buying all these books. You get all of these in one book. One book. And this was $20. It was $19.99. I got this, I think, yeah, Monroe's Books. So, like, look at that. You get all these classic horror tales. So that's why I love it. Currently, I'm reading Dracula. So another one that I really love is called Chasing the Boogeyman. So this is about a girl that went missing, and the detective is trying to find them, and basically they're trying to figure out if it's like a human going around serial killing or if it's the monster, and they're basically chasing this like murderer around, and it's like chasing the boogeyman because they're trying to figure out why people are dropping dead. So I'll read you the I've only gotten to the first chapter because I just started this one. So I'll read you the beginning. In the summer of 1988, the mutilated bodies of several missing girls began to turn up in the small town of Maryland. The grisly evidence leads police to the terrifying assumption that a serial killer is on the loose in the quiet suburb, and a soon rumor begins that the evil stalking local teens is not entirely human. But law enforcement and members of the FBI are certain the killer is living, breathing, and a madman, and that he's playing games with them. For a once peaceful community trapped in the depths of paranoia and suspicion, it feels like a nightmare that will never end. And this was $37. So I'm actually, like, this one is really interesting. If you like thriller and horror and, like, mystery, this one will definitely be for you. Chasing the Boogeyman by Richard Chismar. But this one will definitely be for you. It's so, like, literally the first chapter hooked me in. Hooked me in. Great mystery. So this one was $12.99, and I got this at Monroe Books too. And this is just ghost stories by Charles Dickens. So this is like the ghost stories. So Charles Dickens ghost stories kind of thing. So the old spirits who had been with me so often before whispered in my ears. So it's all the stories that Charles Dickens went through. He wrote about it. All the little beings that stuck around with him. Throughout his career, Charles Dickens often turned his hand to fashioning short pieces of ghostly fiction and began the tradition of the ghost story at Christmas. Many of the supernatural tales are presented here, including the brilliant novella The Haunted Man of the Ghost's Bargain, who deserves to be as well known as A Christmas Carol. While all aim to send a shiver down the spine, they are not without the usual traits of Dickens' flamboyant style, his subtle wit, biting irony, humorous incidents, and moral observations. So there's 20 ghost stories in here that he went through and that he came up with, and it's just very interesting to read. And just reading like his way of writing, this one is really nice. If you like anything like, you know, to do with Charles Dickens or older kind of writing, this is definitely a book for you. Or just ghost stories in general. I love reading this at night. That's the thing. So then another one that I love, as you guys can see, I love horror things and thrillers. So this one is A Mind for Murder, and this one is probably my favorite one because this one is real life files of a psychic investigator. So basically what they did is these psychic investigators, and these are real files, like these are real life people that they've made these files on, and these are stories of them. So basically they're like these murders and all that stuff, and these psychic investigators who investigated the scene, investigated them, they're writing about what went through their mind and why they did it and the thought process, and it's just so amazing. If you're into psychology, this is definitely something for you. If you're like a psychology but you also love horror, definitely this one, because it just goes through like all the case files and like just going through their mind and why they did it and the psychology behind it and everything. So basically it says, this one is definitely one of my favorites. It's so interesting to read. So the last one for my 5, I actually have a secret 6, so stay tuned. But Emily Carr and Her Dogs. I got this when I went to the Emily Carr house. This was $9.95. Emily Carr is a famous artist. So she started off basically everybody hating her paintings because she is so unique with them. And her dad, you know, built their house. Their house is still standing to this day down in Victoria. And she went to art school and she became an art teacher. She started teaching them, and then eventually her work started to get picked up and she became this famous artist who's very inspiring to a lot of people and inspiring to me because, you know, she never gave up. She pursued a passion, and probably one of the hardest times for a woman to pursue that passion, to, you know, be an entrepreneur, to be her own businesswoman. She, you know, paved the way for a lot of people. And she wrote these amazing stories about her travels, about like her family, and a lot of them hilarious. And her cartoons, hilarious. She even had a monkey. She had a monkey and a raven. But so I just got this book, and it's Emily Carr and Her Dogs, and it's basically just this book about her dogs and stories about her with her dogs, and it's so cute. And she, like, all the illustrations that she did on her own, it's just so cute. And then at the end, here's a little picture of her with her animals. So this charming, appealing book combines stories about the dogs with drawings of the dogs by the famous Canadian artist and writer Emily Carr. So it's literally just a bunch of stories about her dogs. And I love it. I love it. Reading about dogs, nothing can beat that. Nothing. And it's like the illustrations are just so cute. And like literally naming the dogs, she wrote about how she named them and why she named them what she did, and registering them. Like she wrote about Lorenzo was registered. Just like all these things. Sissy's job, Min the nurse. They just best. Okay, so I have the last book. You ready? Have you guys ever read a Little Golden Book? I grew up with the Little Golden Books. And there's a Nightmare Before Christmas golden book. This is my favorite. I've read this a billion times. Literally just the story of Nightmare Before Christmas. Obviously, you guys hopefully have seen the movie. But I'm so excited because I am an aunt. The news has been spread out, so my brother is expecting, and I have a little nephew on the way. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm so excited to read this to him and, you know, be the best aunt ever. So that is... My mom got me this. I don't know where she got it, but she got me this, and I'm very excited to read it to him. And just on my own. Everywhere. Ever. So, I mean, like, look at that. Literally just the movie. But yeah, so that is it for all of my favorite books, and you know, I used to never read, but reading these have really got me into reading, especially with the heat outside. Don't want to step outside, but yeah, so I've been very interested in these books. Comment down below if you have any other recommendations that you think I might like or other people might like, and comment down below what your favorite book is. I'm very curious. And subscribe to the channel. We post a variety of content as always, and I love you very, very much. My socials are all linked down in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Stay cool out there.